the sun. Close to the sun. Keep holding on, keep holding on. And I'll be right there, close to the sun, close to the sun.
Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Premier League with FPL Wizard. I hope you're all fine, I hope you're all having fun, and I hope you all had a great game week. If not, worry not. I'm right here to talk to you about your game week and answer your queries. But before I do that, before I start reviewing the game week, I'd like to welcome you all to the live stream. Thank you so much for being with me here so late in India. So many of our viewers are from Asia and this side of the world, and as well from other parts of the world. Thank you so much for joining the stream, fellas. I hope you have fun. I hope you enjoy your stay. So before we can get to the kind of how my team performed and I start answering the comments, I'll just go over the games as to how, in my opinion, the games went and how they impact our Fantasy Premier League. So fellas, crazy game week in it. Is it the Premier League or do we start calling it the Penalty League? I'm not sure, fellas. It's just spoiling all the fun for me. Anyways, getting to the games. So the first game of the game week was Brighton versus Manchester United, right? It was a very cagey game, and I think Brighton were very, very unlucky. As you all know, Trossard hit the woodwork so many times. It was crazy, guys. I mean, Brighton were so unlucky not to come out of that game with all 3 points, let alone a loss. That was so bad. Like as soon as the match was about to be over, referee almost blew his whistle, and then Bruno Fernandes won the penalty, and it was crazy, guys. But anybody who owned Bruno Fernandes in this game week, it was a major hit. I mean, amazing points. Don't worry about how he got the points, but he gave an assist, he got the goal through the penalty, he got all 3 bonus points. It was fantastic. And another asset that I liked from the Brighton team, I'm not going to talk too much about the Manchester United assets. We already know who they are, but Bruno Fernandes seems to be one of the best, along with Rashford is fine, but I think if you want Manchester United asset, Bruno Fernandes, penalty taker, he should be the one. Guys, from Brighton, Neil Maupay, on penalties, 6.5 million, from open play, looking dangerous, playing really well, and from midfield, 6 million, Trossard, really, really good. Alright, he didn't get a goal, he didn't kind of get fantasy points, but he's fantastic, guys. He's gonna get a lot of points this season, so 6 million is a fantastic price for Trossard. You can go for him, and in defense, you already know Lamptey, he's the one to go for. It's a very, very crazy start to the game week, by the way, and a lot of us owned Everton assets, so this game was very interesting to us. And Calvert-Lewin started the game pretty well, scored the goal, but that's about it, And the interesting thing about this game week was Richarlison and Dean both got assists, but the interesting part was Richarlison took the penalty. Now, I'm not sure if he took the penalty because he wanted to open his account for the season, like in the Premier League, or is he really going to be on penalties? Because in my opinion and in my mind, it was always James Rodriguez. So that was interesting. And even in this game week, it was a kind of a weird game. Crystal Palace played well, but they lost. So I still feel Palace look relatively solid, and we should not take them as an easy side anymore. West Brom versus Chelsea. What can you say about this game? I know so many of you captain Werner. I had Werner and Havertz in my team, but oh my god, what a crazy game it was. West Brom at 27 minutes were leading 3-0, guys. Can you imagine that against Chelsea? The new look Chelsea. Somebody commented on Twitter, I think it was FPL Prince. He says Lampard's wildcard doesn't seem to have worked. It was so funny. It was like a Lampard's wildcard, right? He's brought in so many players and just put them in, and putting Thiago Silva and giving him the captain's armband didn't work, right? So Abraham got a goal. Hudson-Odoi got one. Mount. So the major assets. Kai Havertz got an assist. He was pretty impressive, to be honest with you. Timo Werner, not so much. I really think Timo Werner has been a letdown. He looked good in the first game week. He looked fine in the second game week, but in the third game week, he didn't look good at all, to be honest with you. So it was a kind of a cagey game, 3-3. Not sure what to make of it, and I would probably be thinking about selling at least one of my Chelsea assets. Don't want to keep them anymore. Guys, this game was pretty good in it. From a fantasy viewpoint, not for my team though, I started Taylor and Kyle Walker-Peters was on my bench, and I had Adams. I wish I had Ings, and looking really, really good, but Adams got an assist, so it's cool. And the next game of Southampton is against West Bromwich Albion, and if you don't own any one of the two, Ings or Adams, I would think it would be a good time to get one of them in, because Southampton probably going to score against West Brom, and that's a good time to change your strikers if you want to get rid of Mitrovic, or maybe some other striker. Timo Werner, Danny Ings, a very good option. Of course, Jimenez is as well. So Sheffield United versus Leeds. I had Aaron Ramsdale. I hope not many of you have Sheffield assets, because Sheffield are not looking good. Alright, they defended well. Going forward, not too much. Leeds again looked very good value for the money. Bamford, guys, I just week on week I keep talking about Bamford, but I think it could be time that we start talking about him as a fantasy asset. I never considered him before the start of the season. In Championship, how many goals did he get last season? 5, 6, not sure, but I never considered him as a fantasy asset. But to be honest with you guys, he's doing fantastically well, and it might be time that we started looking at him seriously as a fantasy asset. And also, I had Ayling on my bench, but Podence didn't play, so Ayling comes in. I'm pretty happy with that as well. Spurs versus Newcastle. What can you say about the farce that the new penalty rule has brought, guys? Spurs were fine. Son was doing amazingly, but then at halftime, Son struck the woodwork twice, and I think he was playing really well, dynamic game. Spurs were just dominating Newcastle, but as soon as Son got injured, went off at halftime, everything just it seemed to fall off, and nothing was sticking for Tottenham again. Harry Kane again, providing the assist, but I expected more from him in this game. At the end, that penalty, what do you expect Eric Dyer to do? Jump and just keep his arms by his side? What kind of a rule is this, my friends? I'm sorry about this. I'm saying again and again about this penalty rule, but it's spoiling the game, guys. It was just not I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm still saying that it was an unfair penalty that was given against Eric Dyer. But the interesting thing again, guys, Wilson took the penalty. It's very interesting to note, 6.5 million taking penalties. We have to remember that, because this season penalty is going to be really important. Spurs looking fine. You have their assets. Of course, Son got injured, so you might have to replace him. But if you have Harry Kane, I'd probably keep him. This game, guys, again, I'm sorry if I talk too much about penalties, but of course this was not the handball rule penalties, but my god, Manchester City, it was like schoolboy defending. How could they concede those penalties? It's just beyond me. But Vardy is clinical, scored 3 goals, nobody expected him to do that. Manchester City, everybody just loaded up on Manchester City assets, De Bruyne, myself included, Phil Foden, Raheem Sterling playing false 9, doing absolutely nothing in the game. And Mahrez scoring the goal and Ake scoring the goal. Nobody benefited too much from that game. But the players that I would be looking at, would be Harvey Barnes and Castan. Of course, you might be looking at Vardy, but That's a very obvious asset. The two assets, that I'm looking at myself for my team is Harvey Barnes and Castan. They look fantastic. I mean, ever since Castan has come into the Premier League, he started 3 games and he's returned in all 3 of them. 14, 9, and I think 5 points. That's a fantastic start. 5.5, guys. He's kind of just like a Trent Alexander-Arnold, but a poor man's Trent Alexander-Arnold. So, guys, Castan, Harvey Barnes, and of course, if you want Jamie Vardy. About Manchester City, don't be too worried. I wouldn't be too worried. If you own their assets, I wouldn't be selling them. I would keep them. I think Guardiola comes back really well from a defeat, and I think you should keep him. So moving on, guys. I hope I'm not rambling too much. I'm sorry, I'm not reading the comments, so sorry for that. West Ham and Wolves. This was the game that was very astonishing. Last game of the night on the day, and it was very, very strange. We expected Wolves to win, but maybe West Ham could have put a decent fight, but 4-0, guys. Wolves against West Ham. I just thought West Ham were amazing. Arthur Masuaku was amazing against Traore, and Jared Bonio, Jared Bowen, but not yet. After game week 8, after their fixtures done, we can consider their assets. Wolves, I wouldn't be too worried about them. I think they're gonna be fine. They have a next fixture against Fulham at home, guys. If you have him in his, do not mistakenly transfer him out. Keep him. He's gonna be fine. If you have Podence, keep him. Is fine. Let's hear the news. I know it was very disappointing. I brought in Podence as well, and then later on we got the news that he got injured and whatnot. But it was a lucky break for me that I have Ailing on my bench and he came in. But to be honest with you, if you have Podence, I'd keep him until other news comes out. And if you've got Wolves defenders, Roman Saiz, Semedo, whoever you got, I'd keep them. I think their fixtures are good. I think they're gonna turn. It was a one-off, and West Ham were playing really well, to be honest with you. So don't be too worried. Don't go panicking and selling your Wolves assets. I think Wolves gonna be fine. This game, Fulham are already looking like a relegated team. The way they capitulated against Aston Villa, I mean, they made them seem like prime kind of Barcelona team. The way Aston Villa just dominated Fulham, it was crazy. The asset who a lot of you owned from Aston Villa was Martinez, and I'm glad you all got a clean sheet, and I really recommend that. He is the 4.5 million keeper to go for, to be honest with you, not McCarthy. I think Martinez is the one. If anybody is on a wild card, using a wild card, planning a wild card, 4.5, set and forget. Concedes goals in some games, not to worry, but I think he's a good asset. The other players that I would be looking at is I'm pretty impressed by McGinn, by the way he played, but it was against Fulham. So their attacking assets, we need to wait and watch, guys. Again, the striker, Ollie Watkins and Grealish, maybe you might be interested to kind of bring them in, but I'd wait on Aston Villa assets, except their keeper. And about Mitrovic and Fulham, if you have him, guys, I'd probably just keep him because Mitrovic is on penalties and he's going to score most of the goals for Fulham. So if you have him, I wouldn't be, he's a 6 million striker, guys. He got you 13 points last game week. I wouldn't be too kind of, trigger happy to kind of just kick him out. I think if you have Mitrovic, I would stick with him. He's going to get you decent returns over the season. So that's about that. And this game, oh my god. As I support Arsenal, it was very disappointing to watch for me. I don't know why it's showing 2-1. It's supposed to be 3-1. I'm sorry. I think I forgot to refresh. There you go. So, friends, it was a very disappointing game for me. But Liverpool looked sharp. But to be honest with you, defensively, they just look so exposed at the moment. Arsenal could have scored 3 goals easily. I mean, Lacazette, I don't know what happened to him. His shooting boots, even the goal he scored, it was a scuffed shot into the ground and he kind of lobbed it over Ellison. But to be honest with you, Liverpool don't look good defensively, but attacking wise, guys, they're looking scintillating. Jota got his first goal. Mane got the goal from a Salah shot. Salah was my captain. He got one assist, so pretty happy with that as well. But to be honest with you, looking really good, guys. Attacking wise, and I would have one defender. I wouldn't, as many people were going with double ups, triple ups of their defense. I wouldn't do that this season. Grab one of the two, Robertson or Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think they both got the same points today in it. No, I think Robertson got more because he scored a goal, and he even Alexander-Arnold got a yellow card. But to be honest with you guys, wonderful assets, both of them, and I'd just stick with whichever you have. Don't go on changing your team unless you're on wildcard. Don't say, oh my god, Robertson scored a goal, I'll probably just transfer Alexander-Arnold out. Go for Robertson, get the additional 0.5. Not unless you're on the wildcard. Don't go and do that. That's my opinion. Liverpool, offensively amazing, gonna score lots of goals again this season. Defensively, kind of need to wait and watch, you know. Again, Arsenal was not at their best as well, so that's about it, guys. Now let me come back and read your comments. That was a long review, I guess. So let me have a drink of water and come back and read your comments. Hello everybody. So I'm sorry I haven't been reading your comments. I'm back and now I'm gonna read them. So here you can have a look at my team and how my game week went as well. And let me read some of your comments. Hey Siang, hey Peter Cruz, Sean, Daniel, Felici, welcome you all. Hey Jonathan, I welcome you all to the live stream. I really appreciate all of you coming here. It's pretty late in my country, and I really appreciate that you all came here and attending this aftermath stream after these games. You might have been totally spent by watching so much football and then hearing me talk about football as well. Aaron says, how many points did you get this week? What do you think your team will look like next week? Right, I'm gonna talk about that. So before I start, guys, I'd just like to show you this one website. I think most of you might know about this website, but all of you who don't, hey Zod, welcome to the stream, my friend. So if you don't know about this website, guys, I just want to show you. It's called livefpl.net. So it's a website that gives you your live rank and stuff. So I think it's very useful. Even during the game week is on, you can still have a look at your live rank. So I'm going to show you my live rank, and I hope that you can use this website as well. Many of you have been asking, and a video is in the pipeline to make a video of all the free resources and stuff. But for now, my friends, you can just have a look at this website. It's called livefpl.net. I'm going to write in the chat so you guys can note it down. You can just check your rank even after 5 minutes the game week has started. If you take any hits, if you don't take any hits, you can go to this website and you can check your live score all the time. So you can see I already know my rank. FPL website hasn't updated yet, but I already know how many points I got, how many bonus points everybody got, how many what is my overall rank now, and everything is pretty good in this website. It mostly works as well. So as you can see, guys, 52 points in this game week. I think it's pretty good considering what a shambolic kind of game week it has been. But I've got, what's my rank? It's 2.2 million now, so it's up. I was at 3 million before the start of the game week. It's up to 2.2 million. Overall rank doesn't mean too much at this moment, so and what you can see in this website, if your players haven't played yet, so they'll show you who plays. For example, Podence hadn't played for me, so they are showing that Ailing is going to come in. They also show you in this website how much away you are from a certain rank. For example, I'm 70 points away from my target of 10k, right? It also shows me that I'm 50 points away from 100k and 30 points away from 500k and so on. It also shows that which team benefited me a lot and which team hurt me a lot. For example, this game week, Spurs hurt me because I didn't have Son or Kane or anybody like that, so minus 3.27, but Liverpool gave me a benefit of 6.8, so it's a very fantastic website. So I think most of you know about it. I'm so sorry I'm taking this time off the stream, but I just wanted to show you, just in case you don't know. By the way, when you log into this website, you'll be told to enter your FPL ID, right? So they'll say enter your FPL ID. So if you want to know how to find your FPL ID, just log on to a website, log on to the Fantasy Premier League website, right? So, and let me show you how to find your FPL ID, so that you kind of, you know how it goes. So you just go to the FPL website, and on the top where the URL is, I hope you can see it. No, you can't see it. So at the top, guys, just open the FPL website, and at the top where the URL is, there is going to be a code, and that is going to be your FPL ID. If not, you can just search Google how to find your FPL ID. So that's about it, friends. So just go and kind of have look at the live ranks if you want. So there you go. So the website is livefpl.net. Alright, guys, so back to kind of talking about FPL, right? Siang says, yo man, hope you're good. Vardy or Jimenez up top alongside Kane and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, also Mitrovic or Bamford. To be honest with you, Tsiang, I think I'd Vardy is a really good option because he's on penalties and well, but I think he has a niggle, he has a groin strain kind of, so I'm not so sure that he's gonna be fit or not. But I think Jimenez is a decent enough option as well. So in my opinion, both are good. There's nothing to choose. It's kind of a personal decision. Amongst Bamford or Mitrovic, I'd probably stick with Mitrovic. If you have Mitrovic, don't go Bamford. But if you have Bamford, I'd probably just stick with Bamford as well. So if you're on a wild card, then I'd probably choose Mitrovic. I know it's a controversial call kind of, but in my opinion, I still think over the season Mitrovic can get more points. He's on penalties as well for Fulham. So there you go. Sean says, what do you think your team will look like for the next week? Sean, to be honest with you, I haven't thought about it, but I will probably take a hit next game week. That is for sure, because I think I have to take a hit, because I think I have to get out Timo Werner off my team. But if I don't get Timo Werner out of my team, then probably I think my team would possibly get, I'd get Jimenez for Werner. But as I told you, it's not, I don't make my decisions never so early in the game week. I wait and watch the games and stuff. Peter says, Wizard, a score of 52 is very good. The top 10k is 42. Thanks a lot, my friend. Thanks a lot. I think, I was lucky that I captained Salah, and then I had, Trent Alexander-Arnold before the start of today. I was on 35 points. So thankful to Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold. I'm on 52 points. Oh my god, I'm sorry, I forgot to kind of change the score. That is not my score, my friends. I was gonna update it before the start of the game week, so I apologize for that. There you go, I just changed it, so you can get the right score. So Abirup says, hi, best Son replacement, and who are your game week 4 captains? To be honest with you, Abirup, I haven't thought about the captains yet, but to replace Son, if I had Son, I'd probably think about James Rodriguez. Good option, but difficult matches coming up. Harvey Barnes tends to stand out, really, to be honest with you. I think he's a fantastic option with two really good fixtures coming up. West Ham at home and maybe I think Aston Villa at home. I think fantastic fixtures. He has amazing stats, XG as well. I think Harvey Barnes can be the one that you could go for. And then if you want to kind of more options in that category, then you can think about Leandro Trossard. But to be honest with you, I wouldn't look past James Rodriguez, Phil Foden, Mason Greenwood, or what was I talking about? Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, these are the best options. Xiang says, can you please make a team you would use if you wildcarded? Xiang, what I'll do is, in my video, which is going to come out tomorrow, I'll include a wildcard team, because I'd probably need some time to figure out the best team for wildcard. And right now I've been exhausted watching all the games and kind of taking notes for the review, so I wouldn't be able to make the best team for you. But I promise you that when I post my video tomorrow about the game week, I'll include a wildcard draft in that for you. Khaleesi says, how's Konsa from Aston Villa? As I said, Khaleesi, in my review, I wouldn't kind of go for Aston Villa assets except Martinez yet. Yes, Konsa has a goal threat. I am looking at him as well. But to be honest with you, for now, I think just go for Martinez. He's the one. If you're on a wildcard, don't go for any other Aston Villa players. I think Martinez is the one. Sean says, what's your Snapchat? I don't have Snapchat, Sean. I'm sorry. I just have Twitter. I'm on Discord as well. So if you want to join Discord, the link is in the description. So yeah, Sai says Werner plays too wide. He's such a misfit in the team so far. Guys, it's not about Werner, to be honest with you. Werner is a quality player, and we all know that. We've seen from his time in Bundesliga. It's about Chelsea, right? Chelsea is not gelling together. The way they are playing, the way they are kind of just throwing in players, they had no shape. By the end of that game, Lampard had so many attacking players on the pitch. They had no shape. It was like kitchen sink, just throw the kitchen sink time for kind of, you know, for Chelsea. So that's why Werner wasn't well. But I think in a system, I think he's going to do well. But I think for me, it would be time to move on. I stuck with him too long. Buckshot says, Wiz, I believe Son is dropping tonight. Is Madison a good shout because he used to take corner and free kicks? To be honest with you, Buckshot, I think Madison is a really good shout as well. Personally, if I had to do it from my team, I'd go for Harvey Barnes just because of the way he's playing. But it's just like selecting between Kevin De Bruyne and Sterling. It's the same between Madison and Harvey Barnes. Sterling is more kind of, explosive player with only one attribute, in that he's gonna score from open play or not score at all, at which he's very good at. And Harvey Barnes is kind of the same. Madison has like 3-4 different ways he's gonna earn you points. So that's kind of a personal decision. But yeah, one of the listed players, I think, Madison or Harvey Barnes, I think very good options, to be honest with you. Werner for Vardy, yeah, if you can, guys, that would be fantastic. For me, I got 0.5 million in the bank. I couldn't afford Vardy without a hit, so possibly not. Thomas Kern says, I got Barnes soon. I'll probably switch to Zaha or maybe switch back to Son when he's back. To be honest with you, I think, yeah, that's a good idea, my friend. I think Barnes, the way Barnes is playing, he's gonna get you so much returns, and you might not want to switch him back, to be honest with you, my friend. Ace Adventurer says, still own no City. Decisions to make this week. Maybe Leeds intensity could keep City quiet again. To be honest with you, Ace, I don't think so. I think City's going to score against them. I just think it was kind of a freak result against... I think they got rattled with the penalties against Leicester. They just got rattled so much that they couldn't respond properly. But I think Guardiola is going to kick their backside, and I think they're gonna come out firing. Every time City lose a game, the next game they come out firing, to be honest, so I wouldn't think that City is not gonna be good. Sai says, I'm wondering whether to transfer in Jimenez or Richarlison. I have Podence in the team. Worth noting, I have no Everton assets yet. To be honest, I think Richarlison is a very good asset. I mean, I have Dominic Calvert-Lewin and I have owned him since Gameweek 1, and he's like 7.4 now. I bought him when he was 7, but to be honest with you, if I had the option, I'd go Richarlison. Khaleesi says, I think Wadi has some problem. You're right, Khaleesi, but after the game, Brendan Rodgers said that he's going to be fine. So I believe what Brendan Rodgers said. But if I had to get Vardy, I'd probably wait. Even if you had to take a price hit of 0.2 million, I'd still wait, I would never kind of tell you to kind of get an injured player in, and later on you find out that the problem was more than they expected, and, you miss out on him, so... Zodiac says, I got Foden, De Bruyne, but consider to bring in Mahrez as well instead of Son. Zodiac, I think Mahrez is a good option. The only problem is I'm not so sure whether he's going to start, but with City limited to so less players at the moment, I seriously think that Mahrez is going to play the next at least 2, 3, 4 games until all the players come back. Because the thing is, there's going to be an international break, remember? So during the break, they'll have time to recuperate, and I'm not sure how long they're going to be out for, but I think Mahrez is a very good option. He's going to get you the points. That's the thing about Mahrez. If he starts, he's going to get you points. Hang on, guys. Let me have a drink of water. And meanwhile, please like the video. And if you want to join my Discord, the link is in the description. Be back after a water break. Alrighty, I'm back. My water breaks are not too long, innit? Sean says, what do you think I should do? I'm getting rid of Son, but 9.4 million, who should I get? Sean, it's not about the value. I mean, I don't think you need to replace kind of like for like. You can downgrade. You can go for James Rodriguez. You can go for Harvey Barnes. 2 players I really like the look of, to be honest with you. Trossard as well, I really like him, but if I wanted to go for a Brighton asset, it would probably be Neil Mope. Of course, Tariq Lamptey, but he's not in the same bracket, right? He's a 4.5 million defender. But if I wanted to go for a Brighton player in the midfield or forward, it would be Neil Mope. I think he's very good, but since we have better options in the forward line, so that's the reason. N says, who would be the best alternative for Son? Zaha, Townsend, Fernandes. I mean, if you can get Bruno Fernandes, so that would be fantastic. But as you said, you can't own him. I'm not really interested in Zaha or Townsend, to be honest. And I know you what you think about that, but I mean, Zaha's going to regress. Transfer window is closing this week, right? Zaha's going to regress. Townsend is never kind of a consistent player. He's gonna score a fantastic goal, then gonna disappear for 4 game weeks. To be honest with you, I don't like any of these options. I'd rather prefer James Rodriguez or somebody like Harvey Barnes, James Madison, as Peter said. That's pretty good. And that's a pretty good transfer. Out of Zaha and Andros Townsend, I wouldn't take Bruno, of course, if you can. Girid says Bruno to Mane for the next 2 away games. Then, I mean, to be honest with you, Girid, I think Manchester United playing against anybody can win a penalty. To be honest with you, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer against Jose Mourinho. If you have Bruno, I wouldn't take him out. Keep Bruno, guys. Trust him. You know what happened? So many people they transferred out. They had who did they have? I think they had Son in game week 1, and they transferred him for Bruno in game week 2, and then again transferred back to transferred back to Son in game week 3, and now he gets injured, wasting 2 transfers, getting no points at all, just because they did not stick with the player. Just if you own a player, guys, trust him, to be honest with you. And if you have Bruno Fernandes, there's no reason to transfer him out, to be honest. FPL Bear says, I'm thinking of Werner, Havertz out for Barnes, and Jimenez Vardy. What do you think? Werner and Havertz. To be honest with you, I think if you want to do that if it's for a hit, Bear, I'd probably just think about taking only Werner out for Jimenez. But if it's not for a hit, then I wouldn't be averse to that. I think that's a good move, to be honest with you. Just don't do it. Just don't do it right now. I always say, give yourself time to think. At the start of the season, my friends, the only thing what I tell you to do is not make rage transfers and not make early transfers. Yes, there might be a price rise. Yes, there might be a price fall. And if you're scared of being priced out of a player, you can do it. But if not, guys, just give yourself time to think, consider stuff, and only then make your moves. At this moment, information is much more valuable than those 0.1 or 0.2 million that you're gonna lose. I know it's gonna sound like crazy, but trust me. Zod says done, got Mahrez. So exactly, he's done the exact opposite of what I was saying. I was saying not to make early transfers, but he's done it. So good luck to you, my friend. Good luck. I hope you do well. Odo says, should I worry about Martial? Odo, to be honest with you, I think Martial does good at home more than he does away from home. So I think the next fixture against Spurs is at home, and I think if you have him, it would be a good idea to keep him. I'm not too concerned about Martial, but yes, he didn't look too sharp in that game against Brighton. It had me worried a little bit because I was considering to bring him in as well at some point in the game week. So, if you don't have any other problems in the team, you might want to consider it. But if I had him in my team, I'd probably keep him, right? Dan says, do you think Vardy is a must-have? Dan, I don't think anybody's a must-have. I mean, would you have kept Vardy against Manchester City even if you had him in the team? Do you know so many people in the top 10k actually benched Vardy for this game? This game is very unpredictable. At this moment, because lack of preseason, we don't know what is going to happen. Game week 1 heroes were different. Game week 2 heroes were different. Dream team of Game week 3 is going to be absolutely different. So come on, I mean, we can't guess what's going to happen, guys. So just, if you think Vardy is a good option, yeah, he has the next game against West Ham. But do you think West Ham is an easy fixture after the way they beat Wolves? I mean, we have to consider all these things. West Ham beat Wolves 4-0, so it's not going to be that easy. But yes, can Vardy score against West Ham? Yes, he can. Of course he can. Is he the most important player, or is he essential? In my opinion, not. So that's what I think. So guys, another thing I would like to say before I read your comments, I'm so sorry. By the way, guys, I actually put out a tweet on Twitter. I said, please tell me how I can improve my live stream, and I got a couple of messages. I think, they said I don't answer all the comments. To be honest, guys, I try my best. I'm, the thing is, when I'm answering a question, right, or answering to a comment, it takes me a while, right? I have to kind of focus on the particular question, and I miss some comments. I'm so sorry if you kind of feel I ignore your comments, but I don't intentionally do it. It's just because I'm just trying to answer the questions earnestly with all my honesty. So apologies for that. All right, back to the questions. Rohit says, thoughts on captaincy for next game week. Rohit, should I be honest with you? I really haven't given any thought to my next game week. I probably can have a look for you, but if you ask me, I haven't given any thought about next game week. At this moment in time, I'm just kind of focused about, how this game week was going, and I was gonna review this game week, so I was totally focused on that. But you know what, guys? Next game week, I'm thinking about taking out Ben Davis for Castan. I know some of you might think that's a crazy thing to do, but I'm thinking about taking Ben Davis out for Castan. And I think Kyle Walker-Peters is gonna come in, right? And that's if I get Castan, obviously Castan has to play. Probably gonna bench Foden, and then if I take a hit, I might take out Werner for somebody like if I get Castan for Davis, then have to downgrade Werner. I can't upgrade him to Vardy, so the most obvious option is to go to Jimenez. So possibly can go for Jimenez as well. So so that's kind of the thing that I'm thinking about, right? So yeah, that's about it. I'm so sorry, guys. I haven't planned my team yet, so I can't make a categorical statement. Sean says Rodriguez or Barnes. Sean, that's a very difficult one, my friend. I mean, to be honest with you, I think James Rodriguez is a wonderful option. Let's have a look at their fixtures so that I can give you my opinion better. Brighton. Okay, Liverpool. Ignore this fixture, right? Anything can happen in that game. Everton are playing really well, and Liverpool as well. So ignore this fixture. Southampton, Newcastle, Manchester, Fulham, Leeds, Burnley. I mean, they have decent fixtures, and let's have a look at the Leicester fixtures. Unfortunately, I don't have any of their players, so I need to hang on. Just give me a second. So sorry if I'm rambling, guys. There you go. Need to kind of. Where is Castan? Look, he's top of the defenders. I mean, amazing. What an amazing player. Leicester have West Ham, Aston Villa, Leeds, Wolves, Liverpool, Fulham. I mean, the fixtures are pretty similar, to be honest with you. If I had to select one of the two, I'd probably say a little bit. I mean, I think Harvey Barnes has the potential to score more points in a single game week, to be honest with you, right? But the thing is, if you want a constant drip of points, like every game week 6, 7, 8, 9 points, I think James Rodriguez could give you that. Harvey Barnes, more explosive, can get you 12 points in one game week and then 2 points the next game week. So Harvey Barnes is like that. So I think both are good options. Just go with the one you feel is the best. I think both are good. The fixtures of both of them are almost similar. So yeah. Zod says Son is gonna drop in value tonight. I think so as well. Yeah, I checked FPLstatistics.com. It's not being very accurate because too many wildcards are being used, but I still think Son's gonna draw because, until unless they lock their price or something. Peter says, for those who aren't subbed, remember there are more live streams like this. Of course. So fellas, we do a live stream 1 hour before the deadline every game week, and as soon as the game week is over, I do another live stream. So there's obviously gonna be 2 live streams every game week. So guys, if you enjoy the content, if you feel it's good and you're having fun, so please hit the like and subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to get to 2,000 subs, to be honest, and been stuck on 1900 something for the past few days. So yeah. Karthik says Barnes as an option. I think yeah, definitely Barnes is a good option. Gitaria says, is Ings a good option? Ings is a fantastic option. To be honest, if I didn't have Adams, I would consider going Werner to Ings. The only problem is I already got Che Adams, and I don't want to double up on Southampton attack. That's the only reason I'm probably going to go to Jimenez. But if I didn't have Adams, I would seriously consider going for Danny Ings. I think Southampton are back. Look at these fixtures. West Brom. This fixture in itself is giving me so much encouragement to go for Danny Ings. Unfortunately, again, as I said, I have got Che Adams, so no. Chelsea fixture, difficult. Everton, Aston Villa, Newcastle. Good fixtures, guys. Ings can score in any fixture. And the way Southampton played against Burnley, I think they kind of found their mojo again, and I think they're going to be good, to be honest with you. What are you going to do with Podence? Nothing, my friend. If nothing else happens, I'm going to keep Podence, right? I'm going to bench him and I'm going to play Kyle Walker-Peters. That's what our bench is for. I got Kyle Walker-Peters. I'll probably just bring him in. I think Podence is going to be fine. He's just got a knock. It's not kind of a hamstring injury or a calf injury that he's going to take 3 weeks. So the first hope is he's going to be fine. If not, I'm going to just keep him on the bench and, not going to transfer him out as soon as I brought him in. Is Grealish for Villa an option? To be honest, George, I watched the game of Aston Villa. It's very hard to kind of, value or see the value of a player against a team like Fulham, I would like to see him play against a better opposition in Liverpool next game week, and then we can make a definitive statement about him. At 7 million, if he's going to take penalties for Aston Villa, maybe he could be worth it. But I think at 7 million, we have better option in Harvey Barnes, or maybe, spend a little more, go James Rodriguez, which I think are better teams, and Aston Villa is, although they've won their opening 2 games, but, not the most difficult, because after against Sheffield, they played against a red card for a team with 10 men, for the longest duration, and against Fulham. So I couldn't kind of weigh up their players, to be honest. So I wouldn't go for Grealish just yet. Peter says Sean transfer in KDB right now. Don't wait. Should I transfer out Aubameyang for De Bruyne? No. In my opinion, to be honest with you, if you want, you can keep Aubameyang for this game week. But Aubameyang didn't look too dangerous in the game against Liverpool. But the next game they play against Sheffield. So if you want, you can keep him. Otherwise, if you really want to go for De Bruyne, which I think De Bruyne is kind of one of the more important players to have. So if you want, you can go for him. But yeah, it's not the most important transfer for this game week. Will Son be back in game week 5? Ahmed, it's very hard to kind of say whether he's going to be back or not, but he has a hamstring injury. We don't know which kind of type it is. If it is more serious, it could be 6 weeks. If not, yeah, he could be back in game week 5. But I can't say with any definitive thing, because I'm not a medical professional. But in my opinion, he could be back. Yeah. Sai says, do you have a video on how you came top 600 in 18-19? Sai, actually, I had a channel called The Football Wizards, and the entire season is documented. I was making videos just like this every game week. So at the end of the season, I made a long kind of 17 minutes video of every game week of how I performed, what chip strategies I used. So if you want, you can actually go to the Football Wizards channel and actually see how I came top 500. You're probably gonna enjoy it. That was a fantastic season. I enjoyed it so much. Gitara says Dominic Calvert-Lewin or Jimenez. To be honest with you, I think out of these two, Jimenez is the better option. Although you guys might think, what does he know what he's talking about? Maybe, guys, but I think still Jimenez is the better option than Dominic Calvert-Lewin. If you'd ask me Richarlison or Jimenez, I'd probably be a little bit more difficult for me to answer. But out of these two, Jimenez. Sai says, do you have I've already answered that. Bellman says, advice for wildcard this week. So Bellman, as I've already said, I'm gonna make a video tomorrow or day after tomorrow, whenever it's possible for me, about my Gameweek 3 team and about my Gameweek 4 team selection and transfer plan. In that, at the end, I'm going to include a wildcard draft, which I feel is the best for the long term, not just that particular game week. Sometimes, guys, I make a wildcard draft in my videos and then I get comments, why the hell are you including Harvey Barnes against Manchester City? Or why the hell are you including Castan against Manchester City? Do you even know what you're doing? You're making FPL videos. So I'm like, guys, chill, come on, this is a wildcard draft. This is not a free hit team. This is a wildcard draft. It's for the long term. So, that's the reason. Always make a wildcard draft for the long term, guys. So I'm gonna include a wildcard draft so you can have a look in my next video. I just don't want to make it right now because I don't think my mind is that fresh and I'm prepared to kind of, take the best of decisions. Sure. Gitara says Fernandes or Aubameyang. Fernandes, my friend. I don't think Aubameyang looks really good because, Aubameyang is playing on the wing. He doesn't get too many chances. I mean, Lacazette could have had a hat-trick today and Aubameyang didn't get a sniff. To be honest with you, I mean, Lacazette looks like the better option from Arsenal rather than Aubameyang at this moment in time. So no, if you have Aubameyang, I think Fernandes is the better option, to be honest. Well, I should wait until Friday to make any transfers. That would be the best option, Peter. We never know. We never know. A lot of transfers could guys, remember, transfer window is going to be closing, right? There could be loss of transfer activity, players going out, players coming in. So if you make early transfers, you're kind of handicapping yourself right at the start of the, the kind of the game week or the window for the transfers of your team. So do not kind of make transfers until and unless the player which you want to really get and you're gonna get priced out. Wait, hold your horses, guys. Don't panic. Don't make panic transfers. That's my opinion. Ings or Richarlison captain for the next game week? Sean Ings. No doubts about that in my mind. Jitara says, do you have an IG account? Oh, Instagram. No, my friend, I don't use Instagram. I'm kind of old school in that way, but I'm trying to adapt to all these things. So I'm probably going to make one and I'll let you guys know. KDB or Fernandes? That's a very difficult one. If I had to select one, I'd go for KDB, my friend. Although very controversial since he got 2 points and Bruno got 13 points, but I still 12 points. But I still think KDB is a better option, in my opinion, right? So yeah. Ahmed says, well, I made my free transfer too early that I can't remove Son except by taking a -4, which I don't prefer. So do you think Ryan Taylor, Robertson, Arnold, Doherty, Kyle Walker-Peters? That's a heavy defense right there, my friend. Rodriguez, Zaha, KDB, Jimenez, Ings. I think that's a very good team, my friend. Although you have spent more in the defense than I would do that, but I think that's a good team. Jonathan says, I started playing FPL last season and what I've learned so far is that patient rewards. Absolutely. To be honest with you guys, there is no one good playing style. There are many different styles that work. For example, guys, like last season's winner, Joshua, right? And the guy who actually won, and then he was later there was a problem and he was scrapped off the title. Too Good FPL and Joshua, they had absolutely contrasting playing styles for FPL, and still they both ended up on the top of FPL charts, right? So there's no one good way to play FPL. I mean, you just have to identify your own playing style, the way you are in real life. What's your temperament? What kind of a person you are? Are you a volatile person? Are you you're a reactive person? Can you be patient? Can you stick to your decisions? Lots of things to see, Peter says, personally, I do think transferring out Son today isn't the worst idea, as we know the outcome of this week. Absolutely, I agree with Peter. Because Son has a hamstring injury, and we already know that he's not going to play, you shouldn't be taking a hit on Son, right? Point one. But it also depends on which player you want to get in. For example, if you want to get in somebody like Harvey Barnes, James Rodriguez, we already know they're going to be fit. I think Leicester lost to Arsenal in the EFL Cup, so they're not going to be playing midweek either, But if you're thinking about getting a player from maybe Spurs or some other team which are going to play midweek, then it's a different story. But going for somebody like Harvey Barnes, not a problem in my opinion. Did you watch Joshua's Can Maths help win you FPL? That was interesting. Yes, Ace, I actually watched that. It was a very interesting show. Joshua Bull, the winner of FPL, guys, he actually has a 1 hour long show. It says, can math help you in an FPL? Mathematics, can it help you in FPL? Very interesting. So if you have time, watch it, guys. I think we should have a look at all the different possibilities to play FPL, the way in which we can play FPL, and then figure out our playing style. Yeah, it's me. Saif says, who should I put captain and vice for Gameweek 4? I got Salah, Aubameyang, Rodriguez, and Ings. That's a difficult one. To be honest, I think I would choose between Salah and Ings, my friend. The best options in my opinion. Who should I get for Saint Maximin? That's a difficult one, Luffy, because I would say Podence, because I actually got Podence, but he's injured, so we can't say with any definitive timeline that when he's gonna be back. So at 5.5 million, guys, who do you think is the best option? Hang on, let me check for you, Luffy. So just in case, let me see who's the best option. 5.5. I mean, Castan really stands out as a defender to me. I'd really want to get him in my team, guys. 5.5. Who is the best option? Click, guys, I think, but he's I think Click, whatever his name is. I think he's a decent option. After Manchester City, Wolves, Aston Villa, Leicester, Crystal. Difficult games, but no game is going to be easy for Leeds, So I think Klish is a good option at 5.5. Podence could be a good option as well if you want to wait. If you can wait a little and whether he's going to be fit or not, so you can go for Podence as well. But if not, then you can possibly think about a Leeds midfielder, my friend. That's your best bet. If you want to go, you can take a risk. You can go for Leandro Trossard. Not the worst option in the world, but kind of a risky one because just likes the woodwork too much. Doesn't want to score a goal, guys. He practiced too much hitting the woodwork, and now in the open games as well, he just keeps hitting the woodwork. Karthik says Souček. Yeah, Souček could be a decent one, but he hasn't scored a goal. He got an assist. Yeah, I mean 5 million, nothing to hate about Souček. McGinn could be a decent one. I mean, he had a good game, but again, as I said, guys, Aston Villa, don't judge him in the game against 10 men, Sheffield United, and against Fulham. It's very hard to judge. Against Fulham, Willian looked like a world beater, right? 3 assists, crazy, everybody transferring him in. Let's not judge players against Fulham. That's my opinion. But yeah, McGinn is a decent option. 5.5, never the worst option, of course. Jimenez captain, a good option. I think against Fulham you can, yes, go for Jimenez, to be honest, Gitaria. I think it's a good option, yeah, definitely. Lucas says, I'm coming in for the first time in Game Week for any suggestions. Lucas, I'm sorry, I don't kind of understand your question. Can you please rephrase it? Ayman says, Dominic Calvert-Lewin or Richarlison? I have enough money for both. If you have enough money, my friend, I think Richarlison is the better option because I think he has more potential to kind of get assists and goals. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is good, but if I had to choose one of the two, I would go with Richarlison. Yeah. So that's my opinion. Ashley says Sterling over KDB. Again, my friend, that's the same kind of debate if we say Harvey Barnes or James Maddison, right? So KDB is James Maddison and Sterling is Harvey Barnes. I mean, that's maybe not a very good analogy, but the way Harvey Barnes scores goals and the way Sterling scores goals is only from open play. Harvey Barnes is not going to score a header. Wait and watch. Next week he's going to do it. But anyways, Harvey Barnes is not going to score a header. I mean, from a corner or stuff. The only thing they're going to do is score from open play. James Maddison and Kevin De Bruyne have a lot of options, free kicks, corners, assists, goals. So yeah. Lucas says, I'm just starting fantasy football this week, so I'm trying to decide my starting lineup. Any suggestions for goalkeeper, defenders, and midfield? Lucas, what I'm gonna do is in my next video, I'm gonna actually include a wildcard draft. So I think that would be the best option for you. Just have a look at that draft, and you'll have a very good idea. But some of the players which I think I would go for if I'm starting out fantasy football, based on the form of the players, is somebody like Richarlison, Jimenez, Danny Ings. That would be my front line basically. Ings, Jimenez, and Richarlison. And then again, for keeper, I would possibly go for 4.5 million Martinez. In defense, I'd probably go for Trent Alexander-Arnold or Robertson. And in midfield, Salah, in my opinion, Bruno Fernandes, KDB. So that's kind of the template. But I'll make a team, so I'll let you know. You can have a look at my next video. But that's about the players that I'd definitely pick. Others you can just fill in my opinion. You can just do that. Karthik says Zaha, KDB, Salah, Barnes, and James in midfield looks good. That looks pretty good, my friend. But I think then you're gonna have to always play them because none of them is kind of benchable material, right? That you spent like 7 million on all of them, so you have to play all of them. But yeah, they look good, my friend. Definitely. Lucas says thank you. You're welcome, my friend. You're welcome. So my friends, one more thing I would like to tell you, which I say every week, right? Do not panic, guys. It's just 3 game weeks. I mean, I haven't been panicking at all. I've been, even if I have a bad game week, I come here talk to you. If I have a good game week, I come talk to you, right? This game week has personally been decent for me. I can't say it's been the best, but yeah, it's not been the worst either. So, don't panic, guys. I haven't been panicking. And, last week when on the deadline stream, you could have seen people kind of go crazy. Why are you not captaining Timo Werner? Why are you not captaining Kevin De Bruyne? Why are you going for Salah? I mean, I went with my instinct. I didn't have a logic, that I want to go for KDB over De Bruyne. Salah. I thought both were good options. I think Timo Werner was a good option as well. Sometimes things work out, guys. Sometimes they don't. The only thing I would like to say again and again, I reiterate every week, trust your players. You spend so much time selecting your players. Don't kind of just kick them out after one bad game week. It never works out that way in fantasy football. That's just my opinion about it, okay? So, guys, just, stick with your players. Just that's all I want to say about that. So, fellas, I think there was a pretty difficult game week. I saw scores like 20 points for somebody in Twitter. So many people said we got 20 points. We had a good team. What were your scores like? Let me know in the chat about what your scores were like. By the way, if you hear me stuttering or kind of stammering, guys, it's like I've been so tired in the day, and it's about 3:30 a.m. in India, so that's the reason I'm kind of stuttering. I apologize for that, but I hope you can still hear me crisp and clear. So guys, how were your scores for the game week? You know my scores. What about you guys? Peter says 40 points. I was on 12 this morning. That's wonderful, Peter. I remember we chatted on Discord, right? And I told you that you have 3 players to go, and I think it was Martinez, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Salah. I'm so happy for you, my friend. Zod says 45 on my main team and 55 on my backup team. Zod, do not tell anybody that you have a backup team. FPL doesn't allow you to have 2 teams. I hope they don't catch you. But anyways, I think they both are good score for this game week. 45 and 52, brilliant scores for this game week. Very good, I think. Wilbur says 53. That's pretty good for this game week, Wilbur. Well done, my friend. Well done. Guys, just this afternoon I was discussing with Peter on Discord. He said I have 12 points and I used my wild card, and not going too well, but he had 3 players to play, so he ends up on 40 points. Not the worst score for the game week, right? So you see. And by the way, if you kind of want more FPL interaction, if you enjoy what I do on live streams, and if you enjoy all the replies from Peter, from George, from all the people who are in here, a lot of them are in Discord as well. The link is in the description, so if you want to join, it's free. There's kind of no strings attached. Just join. That would be it. So you're most welcome to join. The only thing, be polite and don't be kind of rude to anybody. Zod says my backup team got more points. Yeah, Zod, I read that. Mark says 38. That's kind of an average score this week, Mark, but I hope you're happy with your team. The points are going to come. Ace says 50, 202 total. I'm in the total. That's fantastic, Ace. 202, that's amazing. It's 200 for overall points. Good. Guys, come on. It's 200 points already. That's fantastic. That's well done to you. I think that's a very good start to the season. Just kind of keep at it, guys, and go grab the 10k. You deserve it. That's a fantastic start. Rohit says 34 after wildcarding, but going to avoid panic transfers. Absolutely, my friend. As we discussed last time on the stream, everybody's not late riser. We can't go upside chasing. We have our own temperament, our own mentality, kind of the way we play the game. So stick with your guns. You should be fine. I saw your team last time. It was fine. Doesn't work out every game week, innit? Neo says, who should I start between Keane, Lamptey in the playing 11 next game week? To be honest with you, I can't remember. Brighton is playing Everton away. I would start with Keane, to be honest, my friend. I think Everton are defending really well. I think over Lamptey has the chance to kind of get assist, and if ideally I would be starting both of them, but if I had to choose one, maybe Keane. A very, very difficult choice, to be honest, but if I had to choose one, I'd choose the home player. Asif says I got 43 points. That's above average, my friend. I think it's a decent score. Mark says I'm pretty happy with my team. I'm thinking about rolling the transfer and going from Werner to Wings. Yeah, that's if you want to roll the transfer, Werner doesn't have the worst match in the world, to be honest with you, and literally, if I think about kind of keeping Werner, I'm just too fed up of him for keeping him for 3 game weeks, and I want to get rid of him. I mean, I've been preaching about being patient and stuff, but I think I've been patient enough with Werner. Kept him for the West Brom game, and I want to get rid of him. But against Crystal Palace, I think he can get some points. So if you want to roll the transfer, not the worst thing in the world, my friend. Gav, you've been saying that since a long time, my friend. I do not understand what you mean. I'm so sorry. Neo says thanks for the input. You're welcome, my friend. Harry says, and Werner out for Ings already. Harry, I think that's fine. I think that's a good move, my friend. Lucas says Zaha, Barnes, or Rodriguez. Need some help deciding. I think out of these 3, Lucas, Barnes and Rodriguez would be my choice. I would avoid Zaha for the time being. After the transfer window, he's gonna regress. He's just playing for a transfer move. He's not the best option, to be honest. Jonathan says, I really appreciate it, Wiz. Thank you so much for your time and effort to help us. I would like to visit India one day. You're welcome, my friend. I appreciate for the kind words, and yeah, India is a beautiful place. You definitely should visit. I just hope this COVID goes away soon and we can all go back to being a happy and a healthy world again. It's just been too long, my friends, but I hope I give you 5 minutes of smile if possible. I try my best. Zod says, people will regret removing Werner. Easy to give him a few more matches. I know, Zod. Just sometimes, you lose patience with the player. I mean, you can be patient, but, I'll tell you something, guys. In psychology, there's something called gambler's fallacy. A gambler is a guy who keeps on putting money on the same kind of move and expects a different result. And he thinks, okay, I'm gonna put money on the same move again. Next time I'm gonna win. Next time I'm definitely gonna win. Okay, I didn't win this time. Next time I'm gonna win. So he keeps at it. Sometimes what happens is he ends up losing all his money. It's called gambler's fallacy. Too much patience, maybe. It could be a problem as well. So, you have to kind of make a decision for your own team. So this is a very important thing for FPL psychology, gambler's fallacy. So if you think a player is done, right? So I'm not saying that every game week you do it, but 3-4 game weeks you give a player and you don't think he's performing and you think you have better options. Like Jimenez, he plays Fulham, right? Danny Ings, he plays West Brom, and Timo Werner, he plays Crystal Palace. Not the kind of the best fixture in it. They're gonna defend deep, and Timo Werner is not gonna get space to counter attack as well. So there's lots of things to consider, So that's all. So I'm not gonna talk about psychology too much. Harry Dawson says Zaha for Son. Harry, if you want, you can. I just don't like Zaha too much, so I don't want to advocate that move. If I had this similar kind of budget, I'd think about going for Harvey Barnes, to be honest with you. I don't want to say the name again, kind of hammer it too much, but I like that. Zod says Liam, that's nice, dude. Oh, 56 points. Liam's got 56. That's a good score for this game week, my friend. Lucas says Werner has got the international break. He will come back with Pulisic and Ziyech in the squad. That's a pretty decent point as well, guys. Pulisic and Ziyech, when they come back, I think they're going to improve Chelsea a lot, because the passing ability of Ziyech and dribbling ability of Pulisic is going to be back. Are they going to gel? Are they going to take time? Are their fixtures going to turn? Lots of things to consider, guys. So, yeah. Wilbur says, is Dallas a good option as now he plays in the midfield? Wilbur, to be honest with you, I think Dallas was always a good option, right? He was basically a midfielder anyway, right? But he just kind of pushes forward. So yeah, he's a good option, but the fixtures are not too favorable in my opinion. Last year we lost patience with Lewin. Look at him this year. You hated Lewin last year. To be honest with you, I never brought in Calvert-Lewin, my friend, but did I? I don't even remember, but I didn't have him post restart. For all those blanks, I didn't have Calvert-Lewin, so I have nothing to go on. Ace says an example of gambler's fallacy is flipping a coin 3 times, getting a heads every time, then assuming next flip must be tails, when the reality is next flip is still 50-50. Absolutely, there you go, guys. We've got some intelligent people in the chat. Awesome, Ace. I enjoy that example. Liam says bad Gunners performance today. Jota got a goal on debut. Gunners are known to give debut goals to everybody. I don't know. I'm so sad about that performance. Lacazette could have had a hat-trick, had he been more clinical. Harry says Zaha got better fixtures. Yeah, that's true, Harry, but we also have to look at the teams they play for. Crystal Palace, are they going to keep up the form? Are they going to, they have 2 wins and they have 1 loss, but I think they're going to regress a little. They play till 40 points and then they're gone, right? That's so, in my opinion, that's my opinion, right? I don't think Zaha's a bad option. I'm just saying that, in my opinion, Harvey Barnes is a better option than Zaha. That's all, in my opinion, right? Zod says Dallas will not be a midfielder all the time. Remember that. That's true, but Dallas, his average position is like midfielder. He pushes up and he has shots and assists as well. So I think he's a good option. Dallas. Ailing as well, but Ailing is not that attacking as Dallas, as I imagine him to be, right? Related to FPL in that, even if your player blank next fixture is a new chance worth calculating. Absolutely. That's a very good point. Lucas says KDB has Arsenal up, though. KDB as Arsenal has tough. I'm sorry, Lucas. I don't get. Can you please write again? Zod says, didn't you, or was it Nathan Bacon? I'm not sure, my friend. It could be Nathan. I didn't get Dominic Calvert-Lewin after the restart, so I'm pretty happy with whatever he did for my team, my friend. Harry says, thank you. You're welcome, my friend. So guys, if you're enjoying the stream, if you enjoy all the input that I give to you on these live streams, please consider subscribing if you haven't, and consider liking the video, and it helps me a lot. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can see the handle in my description on the screen. If you want a Discord server, you're free to join. There's no strings attached. Just be polite, have FPL chat if you want. The link is also in the description, guys. So yeah. Saif says Aubameyang haven't been very good. Might I switch him for KDB? I think you can, my friend. I think Aubameyang is on the fringes. I'm not so sure what's happened with Aubameyang, but he's on the fringes and he didn't get any chances. I mean, Lacazette had 3 good chances to score. Aubameyang had none. He was absolutely just tracking back Salah all the time. In my opinion, Aubameyang doesn't look good, but there's a caveat. I'm gonna offer you a caveat as well. You can keep Aubameyang for this game week against Sheffield United if you want to keep him, right? If you kept him against Liverpool, why not keep him against Sheffield United and then sell him? So that's the only caveat that I can offer for Aubameyang, right? Otherwise, the way he's been performing, I don't think he's worth 12 million. Although I'm an Arsenal fan, I'll still tell you the truth. Hang on, guys. A water break, please. Muzammil says how many points this game week. My friend, the score is on the screen. I got 52 points and the total is 157. Pretty happy, guys. I'm just so happy with my team. I don't care about how many points I get. I don't care what my rank is at this moment. I want to be happy with my team. And the second thing that I'm happy with, guys, is I saved my wildcard. It's very important for me. I still have it in my back pocket, and it's gonna help me propel me up the ranks when I use it, because it's a very important chip. And I always tell you guys, like, so many of you ask me on the comments on my videos, should I use my wildcard? When should I use my wildcard? So I'll just tell you this very short thing, right? So guys, use your wildcard if you have a bad team. Don't use your wildcard if you have a bad score, right? A good team can get a bad score in one game week. It's not a problem. Don't use your wildcard if you have a good team. Logically, if your team looks good and you think can perform, don't use a wildcard. Sometimes people do, like, they don't get a good score in a couple of game weeks and they say, my team's shit, I'm gonna totally just change it and rip it up and use my wildcard. And the next game week, the same team bangs and the team they picked doesn't bang. Take the example of Son and Bruno Fernandes. In game week 1, somebody picked Son, and then they said, oh, he's not performing well, I'm probably gonna switch him for Bruno Fernandes because Bruno has the better fixture. And then Bruno blanked and Son scored 24 points, and then they said, oh my god, Son's doing really well, I have to get Son against Newcastle. Bruno had a game against Brighton away, not the best fixture. Son's got Newcastle at home, and they convinced themselves to go back to Son, and then Son blanks and gets injured and Bruno gets 12 points. So just that's all I want to say about that. So wildcard only when you think you have a bad team, not when you have a bad score. That's all I want to say. Saif says I'm an Arsenal fan as well. That's great, my friend. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you. Harry Dawson says Martinez best 4.5 goalie. I think yes. I think he's close to being the best 4.5. I think Ryan can be it, and Martinez. McCarthy maybe. I'm not so sure about Southampton defense at the moment. Wilbur says, is Hudson-Odoi a good option? To be honest, Wilbur, I don't think he's going to start a lot of games, and it's very hard to judge just after one goal. I think he's a fantastic player, but FPL option, I just need to see him, whether Lampard starts him now. I think Mason Mount, guys. By the way, everybody who have been giving my options about Harvey Barnes and Zaha and all these guys, Mason Mount, guys, this is a player that you can look at. He's going to start all the games under Frank Lampard if he's fit. And once he starts, he's on, he takes free kicks, he takes corners and stuff. So I think Mason Mount is a good option at 7 million. Just, you can consider him as well. So I wanted to tell you that. It skipped my mind. I'm sorry. But all of you who've been asking me about options around 7 million, Mason Mount is your man as well. So you can go there. Harvey Barnes, Mason Mount, Zaha maybe if you want, and, James Rodriguez, all these guys. There you go. Tariq says, FPL Wizard, what will be your next transfer? Tariq, to be honest with you, I haven't made up my mind about my next transfer, but I can tell you the possibilities, right? I'm possibly thinking to move on Werner, and I'd probably go for Jimenez because he plays against Fulham at home, so that would possibly be my transfer, right? But I haven't kind of made up my mind 100%. So I could even end up making two transfers because I really like the look of Timothy Castan from Leicester. I think he's a fantastic asset. 5.5 million, a poor man's Trent Alexander-Arnold. Timothy Castan, if that's his name, guys. I'm sorry if I'm spelling it wrong, but pronouncing it wrong. I mean Timothy Castan, poor man's Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I'm that poor man. I want Castan in my team, so I might take a hit, guys. I might actually transfer out Werner to Jimenez and then Davies to Castan, and I might, that's what I got in my mind. These two players I really kind of want. So Harry says got Podence too. Hope he's back next week. Yes, Harry, I hope as well. I got him in this week. I wasted my transfer on him, but if he's not back in game week 4, I'm not going to transfer him out because then international break is gonna come and then he's gonna recover and play in game week 5. So I'm pretty happy with my team. I'm just gonna play a bench player and bench him. Ahmed says, was your 18-19 fantasy season similar to this year? Ahmed, no, it was not the same. To be honest with you, 18-19 season was very different from this season in general anyway. This season, teams are being so unpredictable, right? That time, teams were so predictable. Manchester City, Liverpool started the season so good. So I had Salah, I had Kevin De Bruyne, I had Mendy, I had Aguero, Richarlison. That was a fantastic season, but that was very predictable. This season, we've got so many premium assets that it's very hard to choose the right one. So this season is, in my opinion, harder than 18-19 season, right? But we have to adapt, and I'm kind of adapting, right? I think I am just kind of going with the flow. And this game week was the one I planned to attack a little bit, and so that's the reason I got Podence, but he didn't play. But 52 points in game week 3, I'm satisfied. And at this moment in time, I have a green arrow from 3 million to 2.2 million. I think I need one good game week, and I'll be back close to 500k. So yeah, but not the same as 1920, my friend. 18-19. I'm sorry. Considered this hit for a defender when there's so many penalties and no one really make clean sheets. Really think about it. Zod, I know what you mean, but Timothy Castan, I'm not going to get only for one game week, right? So if he gives me a clean sheet next game week, and he can get attacking points as well, I just really want to get him in, because the thing is, Davis is not doing anything, right? That's also the thing to consider. The player that I'm replacing Castan with is also doing nothing, and he's playing against Manchester United. I don't expect him to keep a clean sheet. I don't expect him to kind of attack, get assist or goal. So why am I gonna keep Davis, right? That's also a thing to think about as well. Ahmed says, I mean the point. No, Ahmed, I started 18-19 season really well. Like I had like 90 points in, or I think 100 points in the first game, because it was crazy that season. But can you believe, guys, in 18-19 when I got top like 500 rank, I never dropped below 23,000 in that season. My lowest rank was 23,000. I mean, that was like crazy, a fantastic season for me. But no, this season is different. But I think it's gonna be fine, right? That's what I hope for, at least. Last one on Zaha. He's the only 7 million mid who take pens and free kicks. Harry, if Milivojevic is gonna be on the field, I don't think that Zaha's gonna take the penalties. He just took it that day, and I'm not sure that he's gonna take all the penalties. So that's the only caveat that I can offer you in that case, right? But why not the cheap option, Justin instead of Castan? And Zod, I don't think Justin is in any way equivalent to Castan. Justin is not nailed on in the team. Ricardo Pereira, when he comes back, Justin goes out of the team. Justin is a right back playing in left back. Castan is going to play even if Ricardo Pereira comes back. I honestly think that Castan is a very, very good option. He's the highest scoring defender in the first 3 game weeks. What else can we think about it? What defenders will I swap out for Ben Davis and Wan-Bissaka? To be honest with you, Joe, I wouldn't transfer out 2 defenders in 1 game week, but if you want, as I said, Timothy Castan for Ben Davis can be a good option, right? That's what I'm thinking at the moment, so that's why I'm recommending that to you. But Tariq Lamptey can be a good option as well. 4.5 and very attacking. And Kyle Walker-Peters, of course, a good option as well. Zod says, I think Justin is much more attacking, could always bench him later. Yeah, I think he's fine, Zod, but I just have my heart and my mind kind of set on Castan. I think, the way he makes the runs is pretty similar to what, like Kyle Walker or Trent Alexander-Arnold do. Tillemans feeds him the ball, and then he's gonna cross, and Vardy's gonna latch onto those balls. I feel very kind of excited at the prospect of owning Timothy Castan. I think he's a good option, to be honest. I think he's better than Justin. Hard for me to kind of explain at this moment in time, but because Justin's been getting goal and assist and all that whatnot, but I think Castan is a better option. Anyways, how long have we been streaming for? It's I think close to 1.5 hours, my friends. Yeah. So I'm gonna take a few more questions. I'm gonna try to stay till 1.5 hours, and then I'm gonna call it a day, my friends. So if you have any questions, if you have any doubts, give it to me, my friends. Don't panic. That's the only thing I have to say to you. And Zod says Castan is super good as well, no doubt. Agree, my friend, definitely. Danny says Grealish and KDB or Fernandes and Mahrez. That's a very difficult one, my friend. Over the long term, I'd possibly want to own KDB and Grealish because they're more nailed on. But for the moment, at this moment in time, I think Fernandes and Mahrez can be a better option because, I think Mahrez is going to start because I don't think Guardiola has an option because Bernardo Silva is injured and Gabriel Jesus is injured. Aguero's also injured. So in my opinion, Fernandes and Mahrez for now. Maybe a bit controversial, but I think that's going to be better. Semedo or Castan? Wilbur, 100% Castan. Semedo, no chance for me. He's not coming into my team. He's not coming near my team this season. If I get a Wolves defender, I'm going to get Saiz. That's it. Nobody else. In my opinion, I think Saiz is the best asset to own. Semedo is not going to be like Doherty, guys. Stop thinking about Doherty in Wolves team. I think Semedo is going to be okay. Possibly, he played well in that game. Don't get me wrong, but to be honest with you, I still think Castan, similar value, much better player. In a much better system as well. Danny says thanks, still got my wildcard, so we'll go with that for now. Good luck, my friend, but to be honest with you, make your own decision, my friend. I can just give you my input on the basis of what's been happening in the game weeks and what I think and what stats I read, and of course I watch the games as well. So you have to make your own decision, but definitely that would be my opinion at this moment in time. It's a little risky, right? But high risk and high reward is the thing. Tariq says, would you take a hit to bring in Jimenez for Antonio, as I have the money in the bank? Who does Antonio play? I have no idea. I should be more prepared for these streams. I'm so sorry. Oh, that's a very difficult set of fixtures, right? Leicester, Tottenham. I think Antonio can be swapped out, my friend. Although I think Antonio is kind of a monster of a player, and he can score against anybody, but very difficult games to kind of keep Antonio for a hit. I say if you want, you can do that, my friend. Jimenez, I think against Fulham is kind of a lip smacking move, and I think he's gonna pay you back. Jimenez can score. I think against Fulham, against that shambolic Fulham defense, Jimenez can score more than one, but at least one he'll get you. So I think your move will be justified, Tariq. That's my opinion. Jonathan says Wiz, and then he says GOAT. Thank you so much, my friend. I'm not sure about the GOAT, but I try my best, bro. As I always say, guys, I might not be the best, but I try my best. So that's all I can do in it. So fellas, if you have any more questions, please hit me up, or otherwise I probably can call it a day. As I always say, guys, if you enjoy the streams, if you like, and if you haven't subscribed, I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to reach 2,000 subs before Game Week 4 now. So if you kind of haven't subscribed, I would really appreciate if you subscribe, and haven't liked the video, please like the video. you want to follow me on Twitter, my handle is @TheRateWizFPL. You want to join my Discord, the link is in the description as well. Alright fellas, so I guess that should be all for the day. So I'm gonna post a video hopefully tomorrow or day after tomorrow about my team selection, my transfer plan, and I'm gonna include a wildcard draft for all of you who are using a wildcard. So don't forget to watch that video. And so I hope you enjoyed the stream, guys. I really appreciate all of you. After such a long day of football, you still came to the stream, and you stayed with me for such a long time. I really appreciate it. Zod says thanks for the stream. The pleasure is all mine, friends. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope I can keep entertaining you and we can keep talking FPL for a very long time. So fellas, with this note, I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you so much. Take care. FPL Wizard signing out. Have a good night, friends. Bye bye.